So what we're going to do this afternoon is, I got this truck from Hobby Lobby, and you can see on this side, there's only decal on one side of the door, but it has this carrots. So farm fresh carrots, it's only on one side. So that's going to be kind of the front side that we're decorating. So I'm going to kind of put that toward you guys. But because it's carrot themed, got some carrot picks. Carrot picks. Got some different kinds of greenery. And I've got, of course, my carrot ribbon, because no carrot truck would be perfect without its carrot ribbon. So usually I have put in like the moss and stuff first. I'm going to put it in second so I don't have to stab through it. I think we'll be able to cover a lot of this without having to put in the Spanish moss to cover up the foam. So what I used in here, this is the truck bed. I sprayed in Gaps and Cracks floral, or it's Gaps and Cracks insulation foam, but I use it as floral foam in a lot of my arrangements. You just got to be careful with it, because if you get it on stuff, it is a nightmare. It just does not come off. So I've sprayed that in there, and I sprayed that in there probably like a week ago. So it's definitely cured. But I'm just going to stab that stuff right on in the bed of this truck. I'm trying to keep the scale of what's in the truck bed smaller. I don't want to have any larger flowers because I'm trying to keep it kind of to scale. Because, I mean, well, not really. Because, I mean, look at the size of this carrot compared to the truck. But I think we'll probably start with these and add in some greenery. So these, I got 2 of these. These are from Hobby Lobby. These were $5.99, but right now I think they're 40% off. So I'm not going to use these. I'm not going to stick it all in there as one. I am going to break these apart because otherwise the height of it, let me show you. Otherwise the height of it, if I stuck it in there, would be kind of like, well, I guess that's not that bad. You know what? I guess that's not bad. You know what? Let's try it. Let's try it. Let's see, because I've got 2 of these, right? So let's see if I can stick that in there. So I want to cut off, let me see, if I want it roughly kind of like this height, I should probably cut it off like right here. So I'm going to trim that here. There we go. I'm going to trim the second one the same way. I'm going to take the price tag off first though, because, you know, I'm classy like that. All right, let me see, that one. That one. Okay, so I'm going to cut it off. I can trim more if I need to. I just don't want it to be hitting the truck bed if I'm trying to push it down further. But these do have like little bits of straw, which I like. It's cute. We might not see too much of that once I get that in here. But I'm going to spread this out. And because there's a taller one that's in the back, so I'm going to kind of put them in there sort of like this. So the taller ones are kind of facing each other. I don't want to have it like tall, and then have it look weird. So it's going to kind of be kind of like that. Not exactly right lined up like that, but close. Okay. So first thing I'm going to do is, now the straw is kind of getting in the way. Some people have a glue pot. I like to just use this. My trusty old glue gun. All right. Let's see how far I can shove this in here. I can see some of the individual stems sticking out, so we'll see how well this is going to hold up. But I'm going to put that. Now I'm not putting it directly in the middle because I'm going to have a bow at the very end of this truck bed. Okay, here we go. Okay, now that looks cute. That's looking good. I'm going to put the other one on, and then we're going to fill in with some other greenery and things. But this is a very simple thing that you can do very easily. It doesn't take a whole lot of skill. As long as you can cut stuff and glue stuff, you can make this. Here we go. Ooh, it's so satisfying. Like when you push it in, you can feel it going. I like that. Okay, so here's where these carrots are for right now. I do have some extra carrots. They're a different style, and I really don't want to put that in there. I don't want to have too many carrots. So now I'm going to put in some of this greenery. So I'm going to cut some of this off. Now this was from Michael's, I think probably last year. This was $12.99 regular price. Of course we don't pay regular price at Michael's. But very rarely have I ever paid full price for something at Michael's. But see, I can actually probably cut these down a little bit, so I'm gonna maybe trim that off a little bit there, because I want to have some smaller greenery in here. I don't necessarily need anything too super tall, so let me show you. Like, this is how tall that is coming off there. And I might do like one of these in the middle, right? I don't want to have too much too tall. I don't want to bury the carrots. That's my thing. But there we go. That's probably as tall as I'm going to want to go. Oops, I lost myself. Hold on. There we go. Yeah, I think that's probably about as tall as I want to go. I might put another one like up here, just a little bit shorter. Yeah, like I think about that tall. That is, what is that? That's about 12 inches from top, tippy top to low bottom. I'm going to stick that kind of up front here, because I want this to carry through. Again, I don't want to bury the carrots too much. I may not use too much of this white. And this green is really filling things out. So I'm not going to have to go do too much too far. So this one I'm going to kind of put around the side. So the height is kind of coming down. Okay, there we go. It's looking good there. I want these greeneries kind of mixed in. The greenery that came with the carrots, I want it kind of mixed in with the other greenery, so it's not obvious that, hey, these are different greeneries. Okay. I'm going to do exactly what I did on the other side, but over here. I'm going to take a little bit more off of that. This is going to go, let me turn the truck. I'm going to put this one right here, because I want it to look nice and full when you're looking at it from the front. I don't want it to be, you know, ducking down. But I actually forgot that I have this until I opened up a bin of Easter stuff. And then it was like Easter for Christmas. I was so excited. I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot I had this. It's so cute. Okay. Ugh, it's going to be fun trying to get all that moss in there. I hate dealing with the moss. Ugh, yuck. Because I try to glue it in there. And some of it, just so it has some anchorage, so it's not all going to pull out. I always get it on my fingernails. That's the worst part. Ugh. That's all right. Okay, so I got 2 of these left on here. So I got to use these wisely. So like I said, on the back, I'm going to have a bow filling this in off the back here. So I don't need too much more in the way of the greenery. But I think I'm going to, yeah, cut that down. I don't want it to be too tall. I don't want the height to start getting away from me. So I'm going to put that in the back here. Oh, I still had some of this. You know, let me trim that off a little bit. Alrighty, we're getting there. Just decided to do a quick little craft on a Sunday night. American Idol is on tonight. I'm excited. I'm just excited to watch anything new I haven't seen before. I'm so sick of reruns and whatnot. Ugh, it's been driving me crazy. Alright. So the greenery that's on the stems with the carrots, I'm trying to bring that in a little bit, because it's a little on the floppy side, a little flippy floppy. So I'm going to put one of these on either side of the truck bed to kind of fill that in. I want it to hang over the edge a little bit. We don't want it straight up and down with the truck. Notice it's kind of coming out, it's cascading out a little bit. We like that. It looks more natural. Things don't come completely symmetrical in nature unless you're like a butterfly. I'm not a butterfly. Here we go. Getting it in on the other side. Okay. See how this one's kind of sticking out a little far. So I want to kind of bend that in here. I'm going to move this greenery a little bit. Now I'm going to kind of tuck that in. Good. And then now it's kind of come out toward the back a little bit. I do see one little spot here I want to add a little bit more of this greenery to. Right back here. Just to kind of fill in a little bit. I know our bow is going to cover a lot in the back, but let me see where I'm going to put this in. Right back here. There we go. So that is what it looks like from the back. You can see the carrots in there. But it's not jumping out at your face screaming, carrots! But I think that's going to be enough. I don't want too much in there. This is going to be kind of sparse. So, let's see. I got this one tiny little piece left. I'm one of those people, I'm like, if I got a little piece left, I want to use it. I don't want to throw it away, but I want to use it if it doesn't look forced. Ugh. I'm pushing it in there with the tip of my finger. There we go. All right. So that is the back. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get out, instead of using the green moss, I'm going to use the Spanish moss. It's a little bit easier for me to try to shove in there. This is the Spanish moss. I'm just going to grab little bits. Sometimes I'll actually cut it with scissors. There we go. I'll cut it with scissors. There we go. Ugh. The moss bag always rips. It drives me nuts. All right. I don't want a whole huge ton, so I'm going to just chunk it out. It makes such a mess, but you got to have something in there so that you don't see the white foam. I mean, it might not bother some people, but if I'm selling it, I want to cover that up. So I'm just kind of taking bits and chunks. I'm just kind of pulling back some of the greenery and kind of putting it, I start around the perimeter. And then if you can see spots in the center, I'll still go in and put some in the center. Looks like ramen noodles. Here we go. Putting some in there. And I'm going to especially put some around where the bow is going to go as well. I want to make sure we don't see that too much. But ugh. Really? That's why I like to cut it instead of tugging it. I'm like, ugh. And sometimes you get a bag. It's what I call a sticky bag. Is it actually sticky? No. But there's like lots of twigs and sticks in it. So super fun with that. All right, I'm kind of separating it out. Kind of poking it in there. I don't think I need to glue this in. This is not going to come flying out on its own. It's only going to come out if somebody goes and starts messing around and trying to pull it out. And they better not, because I made this. I don't want it messed up. But you never know. If I have it in the boutique space, sometimes people like to be like, oh, how did you do that? And then they go fingering around, moving stuff around. And then it, then it makes a mess. So I would never go into a booth and start touching someone else's stuff to figure out how they made it. Just because I don't want to mess it up on them. They worked hard on that. All right. I'm going to put a little tiny bit left under where the bow's going to go. And then we're going to make our bow. And then we'll be done. I mean, this was, honestly, the longest part was probably spraying the foam about a week ago. All right. Let me clean this up. This is a mess. Ugh. Oh, yuck. Yuck. My least favorite part of making anything is the moss part. Then you got to get it off of here. I'm going to bring out my bow maker. Those of you who know me know I love my Easy Bows Design Pro. I love it. There is an affiliate link in the link tree in my bio. It's one of my favorite tools ever. And now I have this carrot ribbon. Now, I did have this to kind of go in the inside, but I think this might be a little harsh, so I'm not going to use I'm going to make just some small loops with this. I think these loops are going to be probably 2.5 inches. Because the width of this truck, I've got like 5 inches to work with, so I'm going to make 2.5 inch loops. And I like to have, a little bit kind of, here we show you. I like to have a little bit kind of coming down here on the back of the truck. Not a lot, but just enough. I can always cut this down, but that's kind of how I like to plan it out. So, that being said, I think I'm going to make, it might be 5 loops on each side. Let me take a look at where I get this. So I'm pinching and twisting. Okay, so I put this in here. Pinch and twist. Pretty side up. Icky side up. Okay, move that out of the way. All right, I just loop this on over. Oh, I did it the wrong way. Yeah, I always do that. All right, I'm going to put it through here. I'm going to make my first loop is going to be 2.5 inches. Well, okay, 3. I'm going to do 3. Okay, I'm going to do 3 inches. But a very skinny 3 inches. Like if I flatten it all the way down, it'll hit 3. So 1. Here's the other one. Push it down, pinch and twist. Again, starting with the icky side. So here's our second loop on the left. Pinch and twist. Second loop on the right. Pinch and twist. You just want to make sure that your loops are ending up the same size on both sides. Use the loop before that as your guide. Okay, this was the third. Here comes loop number 4 at 3 inches. 4 at 3 inches. And here comes 5. I want to have a nice cute bow in the back. Here we go. Okay, there we go. Now this tail kind of ended up just before 6 inches. So this other one I'm going to cut just a little, I'm going to cut it on an angle. I'll trim it up when I'm done. It's got to go, I think it's got to go that way. We'll see if that works. Now I'm going to spin around and I'm going to grab 2 things. I'm going to grab, oops, I'm using both hands here because I'm not going to be stupid. I have half of a white pipe cleaner and I have a pick machine. A lot of people don't have a pick machine. So the pick is what I use. I'll show you. I stab it in there into the foam to get it to stick. You can always poke a hole in the foam with something, a skewer, and then poke the pipe cleaner in if it's not going to go in on its own. Sometimes it's sharp enough. If you twist it enough or you've got those wires really tight, you can just jab it right in there after you put the hot glue on it. But I like to use my pick machine. But that thing's heavy. All right, I'm picking up the whole bow. Here we go. I'm going to wrap this pipe cleaner around it. Pull it tight. I want to pull this super tight. So twist it like once or twice. But then watch, I'm actually going to twist, not my hand, I'm going to twist the bow. Okay? It gets it real nice and tight. The tighter you can get this, the more your loops are going to pop. I'm going to finish twisting this in the back. Now you can see here we're going to fluff out our bow. Okay? Loop on top, loop on bottom, loop on top, loop on bottom, top. Nice. That will come up top too. Bottom, and then the middle. Here, that'll go to the bottom. Let's come to the middle. All right. So then you can see. I will fluff it more once I get it in there, but I just kind of want to get a general feel for how big this bow is. So this is the bow. This is the front, and this is the back. Now this, leave it longer if you're just going to stab it right into the foam, but I'm going to use my pick machine so I can trim a little bit off. You can also wrap the pipe cleaner around, wrap it around one of those green floral like wood sticks. All right, let me move this. Let me show you how my pick machine works. All right, So I want the pick to go around this, so I'm going to lay this, I'm going to push the handle forward. That brings the pick upward. I'm going to lay this down in there, so it's resting right on the spine of the pick, and then I push down on the handle, and it's going to wrap those teeth of the pick around, and I push real tight, and then I pull it out, and you can see it now has a metal stem. It's wrapped around the pipe cleaner, and I will put the hot glue on here and stab it into the truck. I got this off of eBay, by the way. Great place to try to find used stuff. Like a stem cutter or pick machine. If you're not going to use it that often, you don't need it to be perfect, try that by all means. All right, I'm going to do a dry fit here first, okay? Oh. Yeah, actually. There we go. All right. See how it's going to fit? Kind of right in the back there. Perfect. So I'm going to put my glue on. Here's the part where I'm going to burn myself. It never fails. Every dang time. All right. I'm going to push it. I'm going to put it right directly in the middle. Push it down. All right. So it's in there. Now I want to fluff it. So it's got to face me for a second so I can fluff it properly. A professional fluffer. If you know, you know. All right. Actually, I gotta face it back toward me. I think I'm going to trim the tails a little bit. They're kind of on the longer side. A little bit longer than I really need for the size of the truck. So there we go. I push that pick down a little bit further. Okay. Okay. Hold on, I'm fluffing. I'll show you guys in a second. Give me a minute. Patience, patience. Plus, I just wanted to sit down. My back hurts. All right, do a little trim. A little trimmy-dimmy. Okay, here we go. There's the back. This is the back of the bow. Super cute. I love it. And go around this way. Here we go, the front. Side. What it looks like from the top. I should also take the tag off. I did not pay $49.99 for a pickup truck. You'd have to be out of your mind for that now. But I think I probably paid maybe 50% of that. So this is at least going to be $25. These were 6 with 40% off. So we'll call it 8 to round up with tax. And then the Greenery I think was $12.99. So it was probably half. So we're talking like 6, 8, and 25. It was 25 and 6 and 8. 25, 26, 27, 28, 30, 31, 39. And then probably the bow is probably about maybe $1.50. So about 40 with the foam. We're going to call this $42. $42 to make, because I cannot remember, but I'm pretty sure it was only 50% off when I bought it. So that I would probably list this because it was quick to make. I'll probably list this one for like maybe $69 on Etsy. Because I do have to ship it, but most of my shipping for something like this, I charge $9.99. It costs me more than $9.99 to ship, but that's just the price that I charge customers because I don't want them to feel like they got to pay a whole ton for shipping. So we could pad the price a little bit more to cover some of the shipping, but it is what it is. This was really quick. Didn't take me long to do. But anyway, I really appreciate you guys watching. Thank you so much. But I'm trying to get back to this. I want to make sure I'm out here and showing you guys how to make stuff, because Easter is one of the best holidays to make stuff for. It's the most fun, and just the touch of spring. It feels like life is starting over again. It's a fresh art, which I think we all need. So I love doing this. So anyway, this will be listed, available on my site, sweetradecor.com. I'll probably have this listed starting on Monday the 19th. It's President's Day. So have a good President's Day, guys. I hope you guys work. If not, push on through. All right? Go watch American Idol tonight. All right. Thanks, guys. Take care.
Thank you so much for watching. You can follow me on social media, and you can also shop my store at sweetredecor.com.